Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing event today and getting to enjoy a little bit of this beautiful city that it's being hosted in as well. Can we start with a round of applause for the Mining Disrupt team and all the hard work that they've been putting in and getting us all here together today. So today we're going to navigate a maturing industry. I'd like to start with a little bit of the path that got me to this stage today. I'm originally from Texas and had to part ways to attend the University of Colorado for my engineering degree. From there, since then, some way, somehow, I have found myself continuously working in emerging industries. The first of which began in my last year of college when myself and 6 other engineers founded an algae biotech company. What started out on a petri dish grew to greenhouses filled with thousands of gallons of reactors for a living soil amendment. This product was developed to decrease our dependency on the chemical fertilizers and through the soil food web. Next, I found myself in the cannabis industry, where I began in a small facility researching numerous extraction methodologies. When I left the market, we had grown our production capabilities to over 1,000 kilograms of CBD per day and had begun research into clinical applications for cannabinoids. This is where I first piqued my interest in blockchain. About a year and a half ago, I finally made the leap of faith and pivoted over into the blockchain space. There was a lot of correlation between the previous industries I had been a part of, and I started to explore the various specific areas that I could apply my expertise and shine and add value to this rapidly moving space. So have we reached maturity yet? So in my humble opinion, so a wise man uses experience from the past to impact the future. Wouldn't you agree? In my humble opinion, we're somewhere between an emerging and maturing industry. We can see this because it's not a new idea, but at the same time, we are still experiencing growing pains, and there aren't set playbooks yet for us. So now that we know where we are on the industry's growth curve, we're gonna assess through a SWOT analysis, which many of you may be aware of. So we're gonna move through this portion a little bit more quickly. So some of the strengths that we see are previous groundwork. This provides historical data that allows us to assess successes and failures. This can build confidence in our conviction around entering the space. It's also extremely ripe for innovation. It's extremely ripe for innovation. Sorry, guys. Ripe for innovation. Their novel ideas and unique product offerings can leave a lasting impression on the entire industry. We also see governments starting to take sides. This provides clarity around their stance in the long term. As mentioned earlier, insurance and banking have become more accepting of operations in this space. This is an absolute prerequisite for full-scale adoption. Stories are also starting to reach the headlines on media outlets daily, increasing conversations around the dinner table, and even pushing some politicians to build their campaigns around them, both of which are drastically expanding the industry's visibility. Some of the weaknesses that we see stem from a lack of structure similar to the Wild West, where bad actors introduce a lot of reputational risks. Not everyone here is in it for the right reasons. Some people see the vulnerability of new entrants as a means to their success. We also know that regulations can impact our roadmap overnight. For instance, in 2018, the hemp was legalized through the Farm Bill, allowing the industry to boom overnight. But at the same time, the FDA didn't close this loop by completing the compliance end, ultimately halting the industry from its full potential. Additionally, there can be a misunderstanding due to the technology's complexity. Media and political leaders can take their stance against the industry due to a lack of fundamental understanding. We saw this happen during the growth of the internet and .com boom, where a lot of people didn't truly grasp its full potential. Now it's integrated into every aspect of our lives. most of us wouldn't know what to do if it disappeared overnight. Yet, there are a lot of internal opportunities that arise. Being early has its apparent advantages. At this phase, you have the prospect of solidifying yourself as an industry leader, not to mention the potential financial upside and market share that comes with it. You also have the ability to set the foundation for policies and standards that define the future of our industry. Here at Rebel, we're collaborating with policymakers on standards that will help create reliability within our electrical grids. Inefficiencies can be used to our benefit as well. There's a lot of opportunity within addressing industry pain points such as customer service, transparency, and pricing. Some of the threats that we can see, that we can identify, begin with thinning margins. I experienced this firsthand in the cannabis industry. At the beginning, a kilogram of isolate was going for $15,000. Today, that same kilo goes for $150. If compression isn't built into your financial model, it can be detrimental to even getting the best company off the ground. So now what? Everyone has different outcomes when performing this analysis, but for us, it was apparent that we wanted to focus in on co-location and data center services. We felt our expertise gave us competitive advantage to approaching this sector, and our next step was to assess the target markets, pain points, and needs. So, what we've heard, we saw that there was a lot of frustrations revolving around network faults due to low quality equipment, lack of security, and hardware issues. Coming in neck and neck on the report, we also noticed that customer service and engineering were issues. We saw an overwhelming consensus that there was deficiencies in customer service relating to communication, reliability, and responsiveness. Engineering seemed to fall upon issues with faulty engineering design, manufacturing flaws, and in manufacturing flaws that created a rift between what the manufacturer specs said. So next, we want to find solutions. This involves looking at current industry applications, thinking outside the box for correlated industries, building our team, and remaining fluid throughout. So some of these misconceptions begin with what I like to call the OG paradox. The first movers have overcome a lot of tribulations and got us to where we are here today. But that doesn't mean everything they do is gold-plated. This is not saying that everyone who has been in since the beginning is doing it wrong. The issue arises when people blindly follow without asking the question if there is a better way. I experienced this personally in cannabis. When I first started, it was said that hot ethanol extraction followed by winterization of the material to remove fats and waxes was the optimal approach, when really in the long run, extracting at cryogenic temperatures ended up being superior in all aspects. That's a polar opposite from what was said to be the only way at the beginning. There are many parallels between cannabis and crypto's humble beginnings. They both started in home office and maybe moved to a garage or basement, and from the garage they moved to a container or modified building. These infrastructures were built out of a necessity and typically used commonly available parts and designs. That being said, though, can we get a big round of applause for the pioneers who got us to where we are here today? So now we want to isolate aspects of correlation with existing mature industries for guidance on procedures, price validation, and unimplemented technologies. Bridging this gap between current solutions and correlated industries, we can identify benefits for utilizing managed switches and dynamic IP ranges for our sites. This provides visibility for our customers' equipment while increasing our network's robustness and our team's ability to rapidly solve any problems that arise. While reviewing traditional data centers and network-heavy operations, we realized a lack of redundancy in current offerings. This brought us to the conclusion that redundancy at every switch and server within our network would help provide a more reliable experience for our customers. Speaking of user experience, identifying a software for communication and ticketing was a critical component we needed to solve. This led us to the likes of Microsoft, AT&T Labs, and other managed service providers to see how they track the requests and technical repairs. The software we implemented provides customers with an easy interface to submit requests and track it to resolution in real time. With our solutions in mind, we wanted to build the right team to keep our vision to bring our vision to fruition. Every successful company is backed by their dream team. One person can't do it all. You really need to identify your strengths and weaknesses and build around them. Take a step back. Initially, you might think that you need technically savvy individuals with electronics and network backgrounds, but think about the broader company as a whole. For example, our sites utilize large fans, high voltage circuits, and heavy machinery, not just electronic hardware. Using this along with our customer pain points, we can see we need network infrastructure and security specialists, operational staff with mechanical and electrical engineering experience, and customer service representatives who are all eager to learn and think outside the box. Experience from the cannabis industry taught me that hiring employees from different industry and backgrounds helped us excel at a much more expeditious rate. We hired from the whiskey and spirit industry, pharmaceutical, and oil and gas. Now, in the blockchain space, we are taking these same steps to make sure our team is robust enough to handle anything that is thrown at it along our journey. One of my first mentors gave me an analogy that stuck with me for the years. Be like a sponge. Absorb everything and wring out the unnecessary after. You are never too smart to avoid learning something new. Continuously keep a bead on the regulatory and compliance evolution and adjust to the market demands. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to others in the industry that can help you succeed. For us here at Rebel, we want to provide the best hosting services and solutions offered on the market. We are laser focused on this goal and will continue to evolve with the market demands. We would love to talk with you guys after at booth 258 if you'd like to come and see how we can help your business grow. Thank you guys so much for your time here. I really appreciate it, and I hope I can meet you in person at some point during this event.